On the 2nd of December 2021, Mr. Abdulmalik Tanko, who was the proprietor of a school known as Noble Kids Academy, located in Nasarawa local government area of Kano State, brought back a 5-year-old girl known as Hanifa Abubakar to his home. And he told his wife that this girl was the daughter of one of his teachers that traveled. He claimed that the teacher had told him to take care of his daughter Hanifa for him while he was away on his travel. His wife did not probe further to ask him, does his teacher not have a wife? Does he not have any other relation to take care of this little girl? Why does it have to be you that would take care of his little 5-year-old daughter? But she didn't probe further. She didn't ask any questions. She took Hanifa into her home and she started taking care of this little pretty angel. 16 days later, Hanifa would be found unalived in a place where she used to go to receive an education, in a place where she used to go to learn. She would be found unalived in the compound of Noble Kids Academy, her school. Let's get right into the story. Hello and welcome to Sleuthville. My name is Neddy, your host on this channel as always. If this is the first time stopping by this channel, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, drop your comments in the comment section, and make sure to subscribe to this channel. Hanifa Abubakar was a young little pretty angel that was born on the 5th of April 2016 in Nasarawa local government area of Kano State. Hanifa at the time was the only daughter of her parents. She attended a school known as the Noble Kids Academy. After school, she would go for her Islamic classes. This is something that's common to Muslims in the north. They had classes for like Islamic studies where they would learn a lot of things about the Quran and how to speak and write in Arabic. So this was like the usual thing for her. This was the norm for her. After school, she would go for her Islamic classes and then back home. But on the 2nd of December 2021, when Hanifa was just 5 years old, she was abducted right in front of her Islamic school by someone that she would have trusted and by someone that her parents had entrusted her to. She was abducted by the proprietor of her school, Mr. Abdulmalik Tanko. Mr. Abdulmalik took Hanifa to his own house and then informed his wife that she was the daughter of one of his teachers and that this teacher was traveling and had asked him to take care of his daughter for him. His wife did not ask any questions and did not think anything suspicious of this, which she should have, because how does your teacher just hand over a 5-year-old girl to you to take care of? Does he not have a wife? Does he not have relations to keep her with? Why is he keeping her with you? But she did not ask any questions and she took Hanifa in and started taking care of the little girl. 2 days after Hanifa had been in their house, Mr. Abdulmalik called Hanifa Abubakar's parents and demanded for a ransom of 6 million naira. Now at this point, her parents did not know that it was him, the proprietor of the school where they had taken their daughter to get an education, that he was the person that had abducted their daughter. And now we do not even have so much information as to whether the parents paid this ransom or not. But according to this story, 16 days later, Mr. Abdulmalik had discovered that little Hanifa knew who he was, and because he was scared that she was going to let out his identity, or maybe that she was going to do something to make everybody know that he was the one that had taken her away from her parents, he began to make plans in his head on what to do to this little girl, to this little innocent angel that he had separated from her family. On the 18th of December 2021, Mr. Abdulmalik had just had his meal and was taking a cup of tea. Now, he did not finish taking his tea. He had some left over in his cup. And so he took this tea and poured it into a container of a popular drink that children would normally take in Nigeria, known as bobo. So he poured this remaining tea into the bobo container and he kept it. Then later on in the night, he took Hanifa and he told her that he was taking her back home to her parents. The little girl would have been very, very excited because she had been separated from her parents for 16 days now. On their way to Hanifa's home, Mr. Abdulmalik took this container of bobo and he gave it to Hanifa to drink. And the little girl took this drink and she gulped it down as they went along the way back to her house. But shortly after she started taking this drink, something changed in her. She could no longer move. So Mr. Malik, sensing that this was what was happening, took her away from the direction where he was going and then diverted to the school compound of his school, Noble Kids Academy. And then when he got there, at this point, Hanifa could no longer talk. She was already unalived. She was lifeless. And so Mr. Abdulmalik called one of his friends known as Hashim Ishaku. And Hashim Ishaku hurriedly came over to this school and they put little Hanifa into a sack and buried her somewhere in the school compound. Now let's go back a bit because this whole process was planned out by Mr. Abdulmalik. Now, when he was plotting and planning on what to do with the little girl, when he found out that she already knew who he was, next thought that came to his mind was unaliving a little girl, a poor innocent child that did nothing to him. And so, after he poured the leftover tea into the bobo container, he took rat poison, something that was meant to kill rodents in his house, and poured it into this same container where the tea was. And that was what he handed over to Hanifa to have while they were supposedly going back to her house. But he knew that she was never going to make it to her house. Hanifa's parents, after her disappearance, had already made so many reports to the police to start an investigation as to where their daughter was. Hanifa's disappearance was traced to Mr. Abdulmalik Tanko, and then they got him arrested. And immediately he was arrested, he confessed to all of his crimes and to how he had abducted the little girl and eventually unalived her. This news caused a lot of uproar in Kano State that year. It led to the governor of the state revoking the license of all the private schools in the state and to start investigations as to the processes in these schools and if they were even worthy to have this license to practice teaching. But this punishment was not enough for the youth of Kano State because they set out en masse to Noble Kids Academy and they set the school ablaze. Because they were so angry that how could this happen in their state? How could a proprietor that was supposed to be in charge of taking care of these children be the one harming them? I mean, it is no news that criminals are going to face the consequences of their actions. But you see people that commit crimes against children that cannot fight back, children that have done nothing wrong. I mean, even if they've done something wrong, they are still children. Those set of people have a special place in hell. The trial for Mr. Abdulmalik Tanko started, and on the 24th of January 2022, he and the other suspects were arraigned in court. On the 28th of July 2022, there was a verdict and Mr. Abdulmalik Tanko as well as Mr. Hashim Ishaku were sentenced to death. They were given the capital punishment. Up till this moment, they have not been executed. And this has been worrisome for some people because it is said that they have been trying to appeal the sentence. But people are saying that why has there been any delay on this? Was there any delay when he planned on unaliving a 5-year-old girl? So why is there suddenly a delay in carrying out the punishment for his actions? Guys, let me know your thoughts on this story, because it was really unsettling for me to learn that a grown-up person, a human being, a grown-up man, a proprietor of a school, an educational institution, could take the life of a 5-year-old little angel. I cannot believe this. It is just so sad and more saddening for the parents of this little girl. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this story. Do you think that the delay in executing Mr. Abdulmalik Tanko is warranted? Do you think that he should have been executed immediately the verdict was carried out? Or do you think that he should be pardoned and maybe the sentence overturned to a life imprisonment? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. So guys, we've come to the end of this video. If you have watched this video up until this point, I mean, it's only befitting that you give this video a thumbs up, drop your comments in the comment section, and subscribe to this channel. I like to say stay safe and stay informed. And until my next video, bye.